A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. What is the first one over here? AAP slams center. Rohingya refugees being settled in Delhi. One word, slam, we have got many a time. Slam means what? To attack, to criticize severely. Slam, one meaning. What is the other meaning? It means to close something using a lot of force. And generally we say, don't slam the doors. Don't slam the door. But here slam means criticize severely. Good morning to all of you. But there's another word here, refugees. When you see the word refugees, you have to think of a lot of related words. Why do people leave a particular country in large numbers? And what is that called? When large number of people leave a particular country, that is known as exodus. And why do they leave? Focus on what I'm teaching, not on other things. When a large number of people leave a particular country, that is known as exodus. Why do they do that? Whenever there is a disturbance, political disturbance, they do that. And what is the word for political disturbance? It is turmoil. Turmoil means a disturbance. And they go to some other country, they seek shelter. What is the word for that? Asylum. They seek political asylum. And refugees, usually when they go to some other country, they may not get proper treatment. Then it is known as a persecution. Persecution means a prejudice or bias based on race, gender, religion, any of these aspects. And someone commits a crime and leaves the country, that is known as fugitive. All these words you have to recollect. Vocab point of view, but being settled, they are being settled, understood. The government is settling them, active voice. They are being settled by the government, passive voice. And which tense is this? Present continuous tense. That also you have to think of. There are two dimensions when you read the headline or the news item or the editorial. You have to take a smart approach and holistic approach. You have to focus on the words, grammar, sentence patterns, and you have to recollect the related words and rules. That is a holistic approach. That is being a smart learner. Breaking through. Breakthrough. A major development, we use the expression breakthrough. A common error, a lot of people, fugitives are offenders, that's true. A lot of people make a mistake, they tend to say major breakthrough. Breakthrough is a major development. We cannot say major breakthrough, that is redundancy, a common error. You have to recollect that. Gukesh cashes in on. An important expression. Cash in on. Cash in on. Offenders means those who break the law. Those who are criminals. Law offenders means criminals. Offend has two meanings. When someone says something, I may get offended. Means what? I may feel bad. That meaning goes with everyday English. But he is an offender means he is a criminal. He has violated the law. A different meaning altogether. And cash in on means take advantage of. What is the meaning of cash in on? It means to take advantage of the situation. What is the situation here? Gukesh cashes in on, Ding's blunders. Another common error, blunder means a mistake, not a major mistake. And blunder, on a higher level, we use the word blunder. March suspended. Here March can be a noun, can be a verb. As a noun, it has two different meanings. One, the month of March. As a noun, the other meaning, a lot of people take out a procession. That is known as a march. You all know defense also, they march. And that's the other meaning. But here it has been used as a noun and it can be used as a verb. The police marched in the direction of something. Marching, exactly. As a verb also you all know. Here, march of the farmers suspended. Haryana police use a tear gas on farmers. Tear gas use. And when it comes to shooting or firing or tear gas, especially firing, sometimes what happens, they target a few people, they try to fire. But sometimes when the mob or the crowd goes unruly, they go out of control, then they fire indiscriminately. What is the meaning of the word indiscriminate? At random. They fire at random. Then we say they have been fired indiscriminately. An important word you have to recollect. Data point. We have got many a time datum singular, data plural, but data is also used as a collective noun, and based on that, data can take a plural verb, can take a singular verb. Aftermath, an important word. Aftermath of historic rainfall and a full dam. What went wrong at Sathanur Dam? But here, aftermath is an important word. Aftermath means the negative consequences of based on a particular event or incident. A particular incident, the aftermath of that means the negative consequences of a particular incident or event. An important word. Here, aftermath of historic rainfall, consequences of the historic rainfall and a full dam. What went wrong at Sathanur Dam? Full implementation. How did Chandigarh enforce criminal laws? Implement means to execute, to do something. You may have a plan. Plan is one thing, but implementation is the most important dimension. People may have a lot of plans, but those implement the plans, they get success. That is very important. It goes without saying. And we have, how did Chandigarh enforce criminal laws? Here it's a question in past tense. Past tense question or interrogative form, people make a mistake. What is that mistake? They make a mistake in interrogative form, negative form. They use the verb in the past form, but you have to use it in the bare infinitive form. Because already we have a verb in the past here, do, did, done. Did is a past form. Enforce is a bare infinitive. We have to use a bare infinitive after any helping verb. Based on that, how did you enforce, not enforced? How did they enforce, not enforced? Negative form, a lot of people tend to say, I did not saw the movie yesterday. Wrong. I did not see the movie yesterday. That's what you have to say. Let us go to the main headline on the front page of the Hindu. Militants in Syria capture Damascus as Assad flees. There is one important word. Militants we have got many a time. And flee. What is the meaning of the word flee? Got it, sir? Okay. Run away. Very good, Murli. Nagesh is also there. And here we say flee means to escape, to run away. There is one important, flee, fled, fled. Very good, Madhavi. And we have a saying, an idiomatic expression. What is it? Take to heels. What is the meaning of take to heels? When he saw the policeman, he took to heels. Means what? He fled from the scene. He escaped. He ran away. We should also recollect the expression on the run. The criminal is on the run. Means what? He is absconding. Absconding also an important word you have to recollect. Indian embassy in Syrian capital operational, simple words, but here you have to focus on the word flee, fled, fled. We have a snippet here. Central team assesses cyclone damage in Tamil Nadu. Simple words. Anti-drone unit to secure borders, Amit Shah. And we have this prefix, we have got many a time, but every time you recollect, in a way you are consolidating your knowledge. And that helps in the long run. Anti-A-N-T-I means against. Anti-drone, against drone. And A-N-T-E, anti means before. Antenatal, postnatal. Natal means a birth. Before birth, after birth. No, antenatal, the spelling should be A-N-T-E. Exactly. What do we have here? One more snippet. VHP Bajrang Dal protest ahead of concert in Indore. There is one important word. What is it? Concert. Concert has two meanings, one meaning rather, but two dimensions. Concert means a musical program, either vocal or instrumental. Imagine someone sings a particular program, event. It is called a concert. Someone plays instruments, the guitar, all these. That is also known as a concert. They wanted to protest, why we don't know, ahead of concert in Indore. Trump moots truce in Ukraine, NATO withdrawal. There are two important expressions over here. One is moots and truce. Moot means to initiate something for discussion. That's what it means. And truce, we have got many a time. Ceasefire, truce, armistice, all these words you have to recollect. Coming to this pic we have here, the second coming. What is it about? Out of the ashes. It is about a particular religious structure known as a cathedral. And what is the news item over here? People attend a mass, not mass, open to the public at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris on Sunday. Here there is one word. Usually we pronounce this as mass, but massive, you remember, mass, American pronunciation, and means it has many meanings. You all know it goes with physics, it goes with everyday English. In this context, it goes with religion. Large number of people attend, then we use this word. And also this is pronounced as Notre Dame, not Dame. Cathedral, that is a structure that goes with Christianity. Monument. The restored monument reopened on Monday after being nearly burned down in 2019. 2019, there was a fire accident. Fire broke out in that building and it got damaged severely. But they spent a lot of money and time. They could restore and reopened on Monday. It's all about that. Sonia linked to body funded by Soros Group. Simple words. Gujarat court acquits ex-IPS officer Sanjeev Bhatt in 1997 case. I've told you guys many a time, debris, demolition, debris, you have to recollect, breakout. Suddenly something starts, breakout. A fire broke out in that building way back in 2019. And acquit, you have to think of raise also you have to think. Very good, Madhavi. And you have to recollect all the words related to innocent, acquit, guilty, convict, trial, plaintiff, and alibi, judgment, verdict. All these words you have to recollect based on one headline. That is being smart. Mystery to visit Dhaka today, set to broach contentious issues. There are two important words here. One is broach, another one contentious. Broach means to initiate a discussion, raise an important subject for discussion. Here, you know what is happening in Bangladesh. Hindus, Christians, and Buddhists are being attacked. They are undergoing persecution. And based on that, mystery to visit Dhaka today, set to broach, initiate a topic or a subject for serious discussion, contentious issues. Contentious means controversial. What do they mean? Controversial. And contentious issues means controversial issues. Hindutva groups continue protests in West Bengal related to that. That's all from today's the front page of the Hindu. Let us go to today's editorial. Today's editorial is all about contamination of drinking water in some cities, but the focus is more on Chennai. It's all about that and the impact of consuming contaminated water. Any topic related to contamination, you have to think of contamination of food, contamination of water, and the related words. I will write a few words. Let me start with the vocabulary first. But before I go to contamination, contamination of food, one thing, you have to think of food. And also water, two things. And based on these, what are the related words? One is edible, and the other one is, already it is there in the list, potable. Based on water, you have to recollect an important expression. What is it? Waterborne diseases. Potable, it is there in the list. Waterborne diseases, based on water. B-O-R-N-E means what? Carried. Water, carried by water, diseases. And you have to think, when you think of food, these words go with water. And when you think of food, edible, and water, potable. Food, you have to think of, food is fresh, one word everyone knows. And what is the opposite of fresh food? Stale. You should also recollect the word rotten. Stale food. Stale means not fresh. And you have to, sometimes what happens beyond that, rotten. And you should also recollect the word perishable goods. Here, perishable. Write this one again. I'll write the verb form, perish. Perish means what? Adulterated. Very good. Who is this? Sumant, I appreciate. You have to recollect the word adulterate. Adulterate means what? To make something impure. Adulterated. Very good. All these words should be at your fingertips. What is the first one here? Contamination. Contaminate, verb form. Contamination, noun. The process of making something impure. Simple and important word you have to remember, impure. Harmful or unclean by contact or addition of harmful substance. In milk, if water is added, that is known as adulteration, making it impure. Example, the contamination of the water supply led to a health crisis in the town. Water that is supplied should be pure. If that water gets contaminated, it results in some sort of epidemic. Epidemic, obviously. Public health gets affected. Synonyms, pollution, impurity, defilement. An important word, pollution cannot be the exact synonym. And in a way it is. Antonyms, purity, cleanliness, decontamination. Potable, I have just given. Water that you can consume, you can drink. What is the word for that? Potable. Part of speech, adjective. Suitable for drinking. The authorities declared the water from the new well potable. The water from the new well is drinkable. Then we say potable water. Drinkable, clean, safe. Contaminated, undrinkable, polluted. Opposite words. Hygiene. Hygiene is very important. Personal hygiene is very important. What does it mean? Part of speech, noun. Conditions or practices conducive. Conducive means good for something. Conditions or practices conducive for to maintaining health and preventing disease, especially through cleanliness. Hygiene is nothing but maintaining the surroundings. Make sure the surroundings are clean and neat. Then hygiene. It can be. But adjective form, hygienic. Hygienic conditions we say. We don't say hygiene conditions. Hygienic, the word form changes. Example, personal hygiene is crucial to prevent the spread of infections. Personal, I have just used. Personal hygiene is very important. You can prevent a lot of diseases. You can stop spreading the diseases also. Synonyms, cleanliness, sanitation, purity. Dirtiness, filth, uncleanness. Filth means dirt. Imagine someone is very rich. The word filth means dirty, dirt. But someone is very rich, we say filthy rich. Filthy rich means extremely rich. Yes, Madhavi, looks like a regular student at the fingertips. Outbreak. Breakout is a phrasal verb. Breakout, murky also you can say. Shrikant, very good. Break out, a phrasal verb. Start suddenly. A fire broke out in the city last night. War broke out last week. But here, break out is a phrasal verb. Change the position. Outbreak. Part of speech, noun. A sudden occurrence of something unwelcome, such as a disease or conflict. Outbreak of a disease, outbreak of epidemic, outbreak of the pandemic, outbreak of war, revolution, anything you can, upheaval. Example, the outbreak of cholera alarmed health officials worldwide. Usually it goes with diseases, epidemics. As I said, epidemic, surge, eruption. Decline, containment. Contain has two different meanings. This is an important word you have to focus on. Someone is carrying a box. Imagine, you ask the question, what does it contain? That is one meaning. And contain also means to control. Containment means controlling a particular disease. That meaning is very important. Exam point of view. Congested. It goes with places, obviously, part of speech adjective. Overcrowded or blocked with something, often used to describe traffic or physical spaces. Usually it goes with physical spaces, a room, building, or a particular hall, congested. Traffic also. Congested traffic. The roads were heavily congested during the morning rush hour. That's what happens. Morning rush hour, the roads get congested because of heavy traffic. Overcrowded, packed, jammed. Clear, empty, open. All simple words. Environ, an important word. You guys have to listen very carefully. Environ means the surroundings. It can be a noun, it can be a verb. Part of speech, noun, archaic, means what? Outdated. And verb, used less commonly. This word itself, outdated, surroundings. Perhaps today we use environ. It can be the synonym of environment, but subtle difference is there. Look at as a noun, surroundings, to encircle or surround something as a verb. Example, the city's environs are rapidly developing into industrial zones. That's what happens. Imagine there's a city. Initially, the city is not overcrowded. At some point, it gets overcrowded. Then the suburbs, we use the word, suburbs start developing. Environs, surroundings around the city, they start developing. We use the word suburbs. Suburbs are also known as satellite towns. Are you guys aware of that? Satellite towns. Satellite towns are nothing but suburbs. And what people do, they travel long distance. Then what is the word we use? Commute. Very good, Nagesh. And also Madhavi. Commuters. We call them commuters. Example, the city's environs are rapidly developing into industrial zones. Surroundings, vicinity, important word. Interior center. Heart of the city. Feces. I think people pronounce this as a fecus also. Part of speech, noun. Waste matter discharged from the bowels after digestion. It is nothing but human excretion. You have to remember this way, human excretion. Contaminated water often contains traces of fecus or feces, leading to disease outbreaks. Excrement, stool, waste, none. No antonyms for this word. Stool also used, it is in usage, human excretion, excrement, all these you can. But there's one euphemism, word that goes with euphemism. All of you should learn this. Many of you may not know. Have you heard of this any time? Please respond. Debris we don't use here. No, Shrikant. Diurnal. Why diurnal here? Diurnal means active during the day, nocturnal active during the night. This is euphemism. Night soil is nothing but human excretion, human waste. Human excretion, we are, no. Night owl, you thought, oh, that's why diurnal, nocturnal, all those words. No. No antonyms for this. But do remember, night soil, an important expression. And you should also think of the word, two words, same word, two forms. Scavenger. Are you guys aware of this? Please respond. Scavenger, scavenging. The word scavenger has scavenging has two meanings. One meaning, if you take the animal kingdom, it's like a pyramid. Top we have the predators, then we have the prey, and down we have the animals that eat the dead bodies, the corpses. Those are known as scavengers, like a vulture. Eagle is a predator, hawk is a predator, but vulture is a scavenger. That is one meaning. But another meaning, it's a profession. Before the advent of Britishers, when we did not have the Western toilets, scavenging was a profession. What is a scavenging profession? Some people, as a profession, part of the profession, they would clean the night soil. Means what? Their job is to clean the night soil. Their job is to clean the human excretion. And Indian government has banned that one, that particular profession. But surprisingly, today also it is being practiced in states like Rajasthan. And upper caste people, they are not allowing those people to come out of that profession. They are being forced to practice that particular profession. Very disgusting and inhuman being practiced, though government has banned. Sanitation is the next word. Part of speech, noun. Conditions related to public health, particularly the provision of clean drinking water and sewage disposal. Sanitation goes with clean drinking water and also sewage disposal. Very important. Improved sanitation has reduced the disease outbreaks in the city. If sanitation is not there, it results in outbreaks related to diseases. Okay. Where? Sashidhar. Could you tell the place where they have been introduced? That's a good thing. Synonyms: cleanliness, hygiene, sewerage, pollution, filth, contamination. Cognizant. It can be Z also. Be aware of. Part of speech, adjective. Having knowledge or being aware of something. The government must be cognizant of the dangers posed by contaminated water. Government should, Kerala, okay, very good. Warrior, and also Madhavi, and also, good, very good. That's a good thing. You can't expect humans to do that, such a filthy, disgusting job. The government must be aware of the dangers posed by contaminated water. Aware, informed, conscious, ignorant, unaware, oblivious. Oblivious is an important word. Oblivious of the surroundings means what? Not aware of the surroundings. When does it happen? Imagine you're reading a book or using your mobile. Then you forget the surroundings. Then what do we say? He became oblivious of the surroundings. And that happens because the person gets deeply involved in something. And what is the word for that? Engrossed. Engrossed in something. Usually that goes with reading or doing a particular work. When you do a particular work, you get deeply involved in that. Then we use the word engrossed, oblivious of the surroundings. Important words you have to know. That's all about today's editorial. So many words, and do remember, so many words are there, but what matters, you have to remember the meanings. You have to remember the synonyms, antonyms, word forms, word combinations. Then you're ready for the exam. Simply the word, the meaning without part of speech, example, how to use that, and other dimensions, it's a sheer waste of time, no use at all from the exam point of view. What is a stimulus? Death by contamination. From this, you should understand some people died because of, well, when we eat home food, definitely. Imagine students, they stay in a hostel, and when they go home, they thoroughly enjoy the home food. And while having that food, they get engrossed. You're right. Who is this warrior? Absolutely. From this, you should understand some people died because of contamination. Contamination of what? Water. On Indian cities and unsafe drinking water. Because of yes, Nagesh also, okay. Contaminated water based on the deaths. But where exactly did it happen? Main idea, governments need to ensure, we can also say must ensure. The government has to ensure, governments have to ensure. Subtle differences, need to ensure safety of piped water, piped supply of water, while widening coverage. When they want to supply piped water to many people in a particular city or a particular area, the governments have to make sure that water is not contaminated. Otherwise, this is what happens. People die. It has to start with. Now, when you see the headline, Death by Contaminated Water, you have to think what could be the possible framework of the editorial. They may start with a particular incident, where exactly this contamination of water, what is the impact of contaminated water, how many people died, how many got hospitalized, and what are the reasons behind, and who should be blamed, the government or the policies or personal hygiene, lack of personal hygiene. All these dimensions will be touched. Obviously, when editorial writes or touches a particular problem, at the fag end of the editorial, it comes up with a solution, a remedy, how to overcome this problem. This is a broad framework. Let us see how it starts. As policymakers prioritize universal access to potable water, policymakers always think of inclusive growth. What is inclusive growth? Homo sep atom robo for night soil by IIT Madras. Who is Sashidra? Very good. So this is a creation of IIT Madras people. That's really a good thing in my opinion. As policymakers, what is a priority? They always look at the marginalized people, downtrodden people, grassroots level people, underprivileged people. Their priority is inclusive growth. As part of inclusive growth, they want to supply piped water to many people. They want to widen the coverage. As policymakers prioritize universal access to potable water, the death of 3 persons last week in Chennai, this is a place, due to suspected consumption of contaminated piped water, is a reminder. Priorities are there, policies are there, policymakers prioritize supplying more potable water to a wide range of people, covering larger areas. But in that process, if someone dies, then it becomes news. Here, 3 people died because of consuming contaminated pipe water. And this is a reminder. You can use reminder, you can also say eye opener. A reminder that coverage is not the only problem. Only should be used before whatever it describes. A lot of people say she has solved 2 problems only. Wrong. She has solved only 2 problems. And here it says that is a reminder that coverage is not the only problem. Coverage is one thing, keeping inclusive growth in mind. There's another dimension, another problem. What is that? Even urban centers with a long history of piped supply are still not assured of potable water that is free from dangerous contamination. It talks about urban centers, even urban centers with a long history of piped water, they are not safe. That water is not safe because there is every possibility that water is contaminated. Not assured of potable water. that is free from dangerous contamination. The incident, this particular incident where 3 people died in Chennai, the incident which involved drinking water supplied through the state agency in suburban Pallavaram. See, we have a word here, suburban, suburb. Supplied through the state agency in suburban Pallavaram also sent 34 people to hospital. 3 people died and 34 people had to go to hospital with complaints of diarrhea. Diarrhea is nothing but loose motions. Loose motions, technical term, medical term, we use the word diarrhea. The laboratory test reports of local water samples are yet to be made public. An important expression. They are yet to make the analysis, lab analysis public, active voice. What is a passive voice for that? Yet to be made public. Water samples are yet to be made public, and it may be too early to blame the agency because the reports haven't been received yet. We cannot blame the agency immediately. We have to wait till the reports come. Blaming the agency would be something like hasty, being hasty. Yes, too early to blame the agency. Nonetheless, means what? However, the remarks of State Minister T.M. Anbarasan, accusing the affected people of not maintaining hygiene in their surroundings, come across as insensitive and irresponsible. Something happened. People assumed because of contaminated water, but the lab reports haven't been disclosed. They haven't been made public. At this juncture, the State Minister of Tamil Nadu government says hastily, without thinking, people don't maintain personal hygiene. That is the reason why this has happened. The editorial says that is irresponsible and also insensitive. However, the remarks of the State Minister T.M. Anbarasan accusing the affected people, affect verb, effect can be a noun, can be a verb, I have told many a time, of not maintaining hygiene, personal hygiene in this context, in their surroundings, personal hygiene and their surroundings also, their environs, come across as insensitive and irresponsible. Being a minister without knowing the exact cause of this, he shouldn't have made a statement like that. Irrespective of the cause, not considering the cause, it is concerning that severe contamination of water continues to occur with greater periodicity in cities in India. Whatever the reason, Chennai incident, keeping that reason aside, irrespective of the cause, there is something that is disturbing. What is that disturbing factor? Contamination of water happens, the frequency has improved, periodicity, and across various cities in India. To substantiate that statement, the writer has to present the cities, in what are the cities that got affected because of contaminated water, potable water. In the past 6 months, large-scale outbreaks of health episodes due to consumption of water containing E. coli have been reported, present perfect passive voice, in cities including Bengaluru, Kochi, Noida and Vijayanagaram in AP. This exposes the challenge of catering to the basic needs of people. Providing water is a basic need. Providing the food is a basic need. So it has become a challenge. What is the challenge here? Providing potable water to large number of people has become a challenge. This exposes the challenge of catering to the basic needs of people who are increasingly shifting to cities and living in congested environs. People started shifting, Vijayanagaram, AP, started shifting to cities, and what is the impact of that? Cities have become congested. When a particular place is congested, obviously inevitable, it may result in the surroundings environs may become unhygienic. Congested environs putting the water and drainage infrastructure under strain. When a lot of people throng to a particular place, the place gets congested, and obviously there is a lot of strain on the resources. Resources like water, food, and hygiene, maintaining the environs properly, infrastructure, sanitation, all these problems are inevitable. What does the second part say? Governments face a challenge in providing safe drinking water in a tropical country. India is a tropical country. What exactly does it mean? When you take the planet Earth, we have the 0 degrees, then we have 23.5 degrees north, Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees south, Tropic of Capricorn. This part and this part known as a temperate zones, temperate, and this part is known as tropical. Based on this, we say India is a tropical country. Strain means a stress, lot of pressure. Strain on the infrastructure means a pressure on the infrastructure. Imagine there are 10 buses to carry 100 people, but there are 300 people, same 10 buses. There's a lot of stress maintaining and taking all those people. Not close to equator, 23.5 degrees north, 23.5 degrees south. In between, that zone is called tropical. What is this throne? From where you got that? Governments face a challenge in providing safe drinking water in a tropical country such as India. Data from the Jal Shakti Ministry show that, see here data, considered a plural. Where is that word thrones? Where have you got it? Let me read. Data from Jal Shakti Ministry show that arsenic, a chemical, has been detected, present perfect passive voice, in groundwater in parts of 230 districts in 25 states. That is alarming, something to worry about. Don't go back. Now I'm doing the analysis, listen to this. If I go back, the listeners will get affected, my flow also will get affected. Focus on what is being taught. And if you miss the initial part, watch after the session. We can't go back. Arsenic has been detected in groundwater in parts of 230 districts in 25 states and fluoride in 469 districts. These are all alarming figures in 27 states. In 2022, imagine they're talking about groundwater. And where do they get water from? Groundwater is one of the sources. Rainwater, later groundwater, that is a source. If groundwater gets polluted or contaminated, that will make a tremendous negative impact. In 2022, according to the World Health Organization, at least 1.7 billion people globally used a drinking water source contaminated with feces. That is very unfortunate. People drink. You have faced that problem, okay, Sashida. It seems people drink water that is contaminated with human waste. That is again very unfortunate, and that resulted in outbreaks at different places around the globe. Worldwide, an estimated 1 million people die annually from diarrhea. 1 million, 10 lakh die annually from diarrhea caused by unsafe drinking water. People die of diarrhea, and what is the reason? Contaminated water, unsafe drinking water, sanitation and hand hygiene. That's why if you take Indian culture, traditional culture, whenever in the past people would go out, when they would go back home, they would wash legs and hands also. Only then they would enter the house. That's a very good practice. It is like maintaining personal hygiene. You go out, meet people, go to different places. When you go back home, you cannot simply walk in. That tradition, every tradition of our culture has some significance behind. And it is good, in fact. Hand hygiene is very important. In 2010, the United Nations General Assembly had explicitly, means openly recognized, the human right to water and sanitation. Human right to golden days, yes, in a way, warrior, that's true. And here, human right, we talk about fundamental rights, basic right to education, so many shelter, all these things. Now this talks about recognized what? The human right to water and sanitation. Towards this end, to meet this goal, addressing the issue of chemical pollution of groundwater like fluoride and arsenic, Addressing the issue of chemical pollution of groundwater is also non-negotiable. Nothing to discuss, that has to be stopped immediately. Non-negotiable means no further discussion, solution has to be found. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is cognizant of this. He knows this. Ahead of the last assembly elections, he had unveiled, made public, his 10-year vision statement for 7 priority areas to facilitate development of Tamil Nadu. Perhaps part of his party's manifesto, and regarding what he would do as a chief minister, 10-year vision statement, 7 priority areas. One of them could be related to water supply. This included promises to increase the annual per capita drinking water supply. You can easily guess, from 9 lakh liters to 10 lakh liters, reduce wastage of water from 50% to 15%. Oh, it seems 50% water is being wasted. So he wanted to bring it down to 15% and increase the distribution of recycled water from 5% to 20%. All good ideas. Implementation is also equally important. That's what the editorial says. Now he needs to walk the talk. All these are very valid, acceptable, promising, and we can welcome all these steps. But there's a saying, what is it? People may say a lot of things, especially politicians, but what matters, implementation matters. Based on that, the editorial ends on this note. Now he needs to walk the talk. Walk the talk we have got many a time. Do what you say. Implement what you promise, especially in terms of supplying safe drinking water. This is the point. That's all about today's editorial, an important editorial. Do remember, any editorial that deals with infrastructure or deals with human necessities, basic needs, you will get as a passage. That's what matters. Try to answer these questions. What did State Minister T.M. Ambarasan attribute the contamination issue to? When 3 people died and 30 plus got hospitalized, the State Minister made a statement. He accused the people, saying that they don't maintain. That could be the reason. What is that? It is not faulty water supply systems, poor maintenance of hygiene by residents. Clearly, he blamed the residents, which is not irresponsible and not sensible, according to the editorial. What did State Minister, that is over. Recent health outbreaks due to water contamination in India have been reported in all of the following cities except. The editorial has listed out a few cities where water got contaminated, except from this list, you have to choose the one that hasn't been listed. Bangalore has been listed, Kochi has been listed, Noida has been listed, I suppose. Which were not listed? Hyderabad not listed. Answer is C. Fortunately. According to the editorial, which contaminants have been detected, passive voice, in groundwater across many districts, about 20 plus districts. What are the 2 chemicals found in the groundwater? Lead and mercury, no. E. coli and chlorine, no. 2 clearly mentioned. One is arsenic, the other one is what? Fluoride. Easy to answer. The United Nations recognizes the right to safe drinking water as a right to safe drinking water as what? Arsenic and also fluoride. A national privilege, a governmental duty, a community initiative, human right. Water and sanitation considered human rights by the United Nations. An important bit may give in the exam, very important. What global statistic does the editorial mention about unsafe drinking water? So many people die because of unsafe drinking water. What are the numbers? Over 10 million deaths annually due to contaminated water. No, 1 million, not 10 million. 1.7 billion people use Fecus or feces contaminated water sources, hold that one. 50% of the world's water is unsafe for drinking. 49 districts, no. So what is the answer here? Answer should be B. Yes. One more question. What is the tone of the editorial towards government measures for water safety? What is the tone of the editorial? Appreciative, how can it be appreciative? Neutral, it can't be neutral. Critical and demanding accountability. Because of the minister's statement, the second word, accountability, and critical, obviously. Government cannot supply contaminated water to people. Answer is C. And before we go, these are the words you got last week. Again, have a look, recollect the meanings. And if you are not able to recollect the meanings of a few words, spend some time, consolidate. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.